I'm sure a lot of you can sympathize, but I have a gaming backlog that is way, way too long. To combat sunk cost fallacy and in a desperate attempt to make my backlog something I might actually be able to navigate my lifetime, I'm trying the first level or hour or whatever from my backlog, going one by one randomly. Join me in my journey as I attempt this backlog blitz. Up first, we have the fitting Ys origin. Now, I played Ys 1 and 2 back in 2020 and fell in love with the series. Been collecting the games as they go on sale, with the constant intent to keep going when I get the free time, but you know how it goes. I gotta say, that intro cinematic does a lot to get you hyped, especially as someone who already played through Ys 1 and 2. I'm excited to learn more about the backstory of the world and see what sort of tweaks they make to the classic framework and a more modern take on Darm Tower. I can already tell that I'm gonna have a hard time putting this one down. Funnily enough, immediately after that hype cinematic, the next impression is a whole lot of exposition without much context. I find myself kind of wanting the game to get on with it. Not sure if starting with gameplay before dumping some of this on you wouldn't have flowed better. And once I get into the gameplay, I have to say I find the movement speed too slow for what sort of game it is. Or at least what sort of game I think it's trying to be. Your dash really should be your walking speed, and a further, faster speed should have been your dash. It kind of weirdly reminds me of the same issue Circle of the Moon had. Okay, at the risk of 3 negatives in a row, I think I'll also admit the music is a lot more subdued than Ys 1 and 2. I kind of miss the style of butt rock juxtaposed against sword and sorcery settings. Like, this music might be more appropriate, but at this point for me, part of the Ys identity just is that juxtaposition. I will say that while I'm glad their art styles have progressed, little 3D modeled sprite kind of Donkey Kong characters are very charming and very of their time, in a way that I do find endearing. Okay, the combo system encouraging you to keep up a solid pace when attacking enemies is extremely addicting. This combat system is clearly going to be the bread and butter of this game, and it is really engaging. I love the pool of options it gives you to tackle these enemies. It does a great job of taking the sort of platonic ideal of bump combat and transforming it into something way more engaging to play. And it's not just arcade fun through the halls of this tower. That first boss was everything I could have hoped for from a boss of this type of game. Tough, clean to my clock the first several times I fought him, but I kept getting better, and eventually I was able to win. It was a really fun boss fight, and he wasn't a pushover in the slightest, but you can still feel yourself making progress every time you challenge him. All in all, Ys Origin had a bit of a slower start than I would have expected, but once that momentum got going, the combat drew me in and keeps me wanting to go back for more. It gets an 8 out of 10 rating in excitement and goes on the high priority backlog.